Introduction. In the quiet town of Maplewood, where the pace of life moved steadily, and the rolling hills cradled quaint homes and friendly faces, there lived a man named Samuel. Samuel was not a wealthy man, nor was he renowned for any remarkable talents or accomplishments. His name seldom appeared in the local newspapers, and his face didn't grace the cover of any magazines. Yet, within the heart of this unassuming man resided a treasure more valuable than gold, a quality that would set the wheels of a remarkable and life-altering story in motion: an unwavering commitment to kindness. Samuel's life, although ordinary by conventional standards, was painted with extraordinary strokes of compassion and empathy. He was the embodiment of the belief that a person's worth was not determined by the size of their bank account or the grandeur of their possessions. Instead, Samuel believed that the true measure of a person's character lay in the warmth of their heart and the kindness they extended to those they encountered. Our story begins on a particularly chilly evening, when the winds whispered secrets through the trees, and the town of Maplewood was bathed in the soft hues of a setting sun. It was on this evening that Samuel's life, and the lives of those around him, would take an unexpected turn. As he made his way home from a long day's work, Samuel noticed a solitary figure seated on a park bench, shrouded in shadows and weariness. This figure, a stranger by all accounts, would become the catalyst for a journey filled with compassion, resilience, and the enduring belief that even in the most challenging circumstances, the human spirit could find its way back to the light. This story is not one of fanciful tales or mythical creatures, but rather a testament to the remarkable power of kindness in our very real and often unpredictable world. In 6 chapters, we will delve into the life of Samuel, the encounter with a desperate stranger named Peter, the trials that Peter faced, the transformative effects of a simple act of kindness, and the ripple effect that such actions can create in the lives of others. As we embark on this journey, let us remember that sometimes, the most extraordinary stories are those woven from the threads of ordinary lives, where the true magic lies in the hearts of the individuals who choose to make a difference, one act of kindness at a time.
Chapter 1: A Humble Beginning. In the charming town of Maplewood, Samuel was a man who blended seamlessly into the tapestry of the community. His home, a small cottage with a white picket fence and a well-tended garden, was a reflection of his unpretentious life. Each morning, he would rise with the sun, tend to his garden, and set off to work at the local hardware store. His routine was simple, his existence modest, but his heart was larger than life. Samuel had always believed that kindness was a currency more valuable than any material wealth. He had grown up with stories of his own parents, who had taught him that the measure of a person's worth lay not in what they possessed, but in how they treated others. These lessons had left an indelible mark on Samuel, shaping him into a man who was quick to lend a hand and slow to judge. As the years passed, Samuel became known in Maplewood not for his possessions or achievements, but for the countless acts of kindness he bestowed upon his fellow townsfolk. If someone's car broke down, Samuel would be there with his toolbox. When a neighbor needed help moving furniture, he was the first to volunteer. His warmth and generosity had earned him the admiration and respect of all who knew him. Yet, despite his reputation for kindness, Samuel never sought recognition or accolades. He went about his days with a humble smile and an open heart, content in the knowledge that he was making a difference in his own small way. It was this very humility that made his character shine all the brighter. It was on one fateful evening, as Samuel was making his way home from work, that the story truly began. The setting sun cast long shadows across the town park, and the crisp autumn air carried with it a sense of change. It was during this serene moment, while the world seemed to slow down, that Samuel spotted the figure on the park bench, a stranger who would soon become a pivotal part of his life and the catalyst for a series of events that would resonate throughout the town of Maplewood. Approaching the stranger with his customary warm smile, Samuel began a conversation that would alter the course of both their lives. Little did he know that this encounter was the first step in a journey filled with trials, triumphs, and a profound lesson in the power of compassion and human connection.
Chapter 2: A Stranger in Need. The stranger sat on the park bench, his shoulders slumped and his face etched with weariness. His clothes were worn and tattered, a stark contrast to the warm, welcoming atmosphere of Maplewood. His name was Peter, and he had been wandering through life's trials and tribulations, carrying a burden too heavy for any one person to bear alone. As Samuel approached Peter, the stranger's eyes met his, revealing a glimmer of hope amidst the despair. Samuel, with his usual warmth and sincerity, introduced himself and offered a friendly handshake. "I'm Samuel," he said, "and it's a pleasure to meet you. Is there something troubling you, my friend?" Peter, initially guarded, found himself opening up to Samuel. He shared his story, the loss of his job, the dissolution of his family, and the subsequent unraveling of his life. It was a tale of hardship, one filled with heartache, setbacks, and dashed dreams. He had been traveling from town to town, searching for something, though he couldn't quite articulate what it was. As Samuel listened, his heart ached for Peter's suffering. He recognized the familiar face of despair, the same face he had seen on the faces of others in need over the years. Without hesitation, he extended an invitation. "Would you join me for dinner tonight? It's the least I can do." Samuel's genuine concern shone through his eyes, offering Peter a glimmer of hope in the darkness that had enveloped his life. Peter, taken aback by this unexpected kindness, nodded gratefully. The evening sun dipped below the horizon as they walked together toward Samuel's home, where the simple act of inviting a stranger to share a meal would set in motion a chain of events that neither of them could have anticipated. As they walked, Samuel couldn't help but reflect on the serendipity of the encounter. He had always believed that life had a way of bringing people together when they needed it most. Little did he know that this chance meeting with a stranger in need would become the starting point of a remarkable journey, a journey that would test the limits of compassion, resilience, and the enduring power of human connection. Chapter 2 was a testament to the power of empathy and the unpredictable ways in which our paths can intersect with those in need. It marked the beginning of a unique friendship and the first step in a transformative tale of hope, redemption, and the remarkable capacity of the human heart to heal and inspire.
Chapter 3: A Tale of Hardship. As Samuel and Peter settled into Samuel's cozy cottage, the warmth of the hearth and the aroma of a hearty meal filled the air. Samuel had prepared a simple yet nourishing dinner, and the flickering candlelight cast a comforting glow over the room. Over bowls of steaming soup and freshly baked bread, Peter began to share the details of his tumultuous journey. His story unfolded like a series of unfortunate events, each one more heartbreaking than the last. Peter had once been a skilled mechanic, supporting his loving wife, Emily, and their 2 children, Grace and Daniel. Life had been filled with the comforting routine of family dinners, laughter echoing through their home, and dreams of a better future. But then, a sudden economic downturn hit their small town. Businesses closed, jobs vanished, and Peter's own livelihood crumbled. The stress of unemployment strained his marriage, and the weight of financial hardship took a toll on his emotional well-being. Slowly but surely, Peter watched as his life unraveled. Unable to make ends meet, he and Emily made the agonizing decision to sell their family home, leaving them homeless. With a heavy heart, Peter shared the heart-wrenching moment when he had to explain to Grace and Daniel that they would be living in a cramped motel room temporarily. Their bright eyes filled with confusion and fear, and Peter couldn't help but feel like he had failed them as a father. As the nights turned into weeks, Peter's search for work became increasingly desperate. He would apply for any job he could find, but competition was fierce, and opportunities scarce. The feeling of helplessness and despair began to take root in his heart, and he set out on a journey to find a way to provide for his family. Tears welled up in Peter's eyes as he recounted the day he received the divorce papers from Emily. The pain of losing his family, the guilt that gnawed at him, and the sense of abandonment had left him feeling utterly defeated and adrift. Listening to Peter's story, Samuel could feel the weight of his hardships, but he also sensed something resilient beneath the surface, a determination to rebuild what had been lost. Samuel knew that while he couldn't erase the past, he could help Peter find a path forward, a chance at redemption and renewal. Chapter 3 was a poignant reminder that life's journey often led us down unexpected and difficult roads. Peter's tale of hardship served as a stark contrast to the warmth and comfort of Samuel's cottage. It underscored the fragility of human existence and the harsh realities that many faced in their pursuit of happiness. As the evening deepened, the 2 men knew that this encounter marked the beginning of a profound transformation, one that would test their strength and resilience in the face of adversity.
Chapter 4: An Act of Kindness. The evening inside Samuel's cottage stretched on, marked by the soft glow of candlelight and the soothing crackle of the fire. As Peter continued to share his story with Samuel, a sense of camaraderie began to form between the 2 men. Samuel could see in Peter's eyes a flicker of hope that had long been extinguished, and it fueled his determination to make a difference. After dinner, they sat by the fire, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames. Samuel leaned forward, his voice filled with sincerity. "Peter, I may not have much, but I have a spare room you can stay in for as long as you need. We'll figure this out together." Peter was taken aback by Samuel's generosity. He had encountered countless people during his journey, but none had shown him such unwavering kindness. With tears in his eyes, he accepted Samuel's offer. "Thank you," he said, his voice trembling with gratitude. "I don't know what I would have done without your help." In the days that followed, Samuel and Peter embarked on a journey of collaboration and support. Samuel introduced Peter to friends and acquaintances who might have job opportunities, and he helped Peter update his resume and prepare for interviews. Samuel's humble cottage became a sanctuary, a place where Peter could regain his strength and sense of purpose. As Peter settled into his new routine, he found himself not only regaining his confidence but also developing a deep sense of respect and admiration for Samuel. He witnessed firsthand the kindness that radiated from Samuel's heart and the way it touched the lives of those around him. Samuel was not a wealthy man, but his wealth of compassion seemed boundless. Over time, Peter's fortunes began to change. He secured a job at the local auto repair shop, and his determination to rebuild his life was unwavering. Each step forward was a testament to his resilience and the unwavering support of his newfound friend, Samuel. Chapter 4 highlighted the transformative power of a single act of kindness. Samuel's willingness to open his home and offer a helping hand had not only provided Peter with a safe haven, but also reignited his hope and self-worth. It was a reminder that sometimes, all it took to change the course of someone's life was a gesture of compassion and a belief in their potential. As the days turned into weeks, and the bond between Samuel and Peter deepened, the story was a testament to the profound impact one person could have on another, and the enduring ripple effect that a simple act of kindness could create in a community.
Chapter 5: A Transformation. As weeks turned into months, the transformation in Peter's life became increasingly evident. With Samuel's unwavering support and the stability of his newfound job, Peter regained not only his financial footing but also a sense of purpose and direction. Peter's work at the local auto repair shop was more than just a means to earn a living. It was a reminder of the skills he had honed over the years and the pride he took in his craftsmanship. The familiarity of the tools, the smell of grease, and the satisfaction of fixing broken cars filled him with a renewed sense of purpose. Samuel, ever the mentor, encouraged Peter to save and plan for the future. He introduced him to financial literacy courses offered by the local community center, helping him set goals and build a path to financial security. It was not just a job, it was a chance for Peter to rebuild his life, mend the fractured bonds with his family, and become the father he had always wanted to be. One evening, as they sat on the porch and watched the sun dip below the horizon, Peter reflected on the remarkable journey he had undertaken. "Samuel," he said, his voice tinged with gratitude, "you've given me more than just a place to stay. You've given me hope and a second chance at life." Samuel smiled warmly, his eyes reflecting the joy he felt in his heart. "Peter, my friend," he replied, "it was your determination and resilience that brought you here. All I did was offer a helping hand when you needed it most." But the transformation wasn't limited to Peter alone. The entire town of Maplewood had been watching the unfolding story, inspired by the resilience of one man and the kindness of another. Samuel's act of compassion had touched the hearts of many, and it sparked a ripple effect of goodwill throughout the community. Neighbors began reaching out to each other, offering assistance and support. Acts of kindness, both big and small, became a common occurrence. The town, once known for its tranquility, now also boasted a spirit of unity and togetherness. Chapter 5 was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of second chances. It showcased the profound impact of mentorship and friendship, as well as the way a community could come together to uplift those in need. In this chapter, Peter's transformation from despair to hope symbolized the potential for renewal and growth that exists within all of us, given the right circumstances and a helping hand.
Chapter 6: The Ripple Effect. As the seasons changed, so did the landscape of Maplewood, both in its physical beauty and the collective spirit of its residents. The story of Samuel's kindness and Peter's transformation had rippled through the town, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of its inhabitants. The once quiet town was now buzzing with a newfound sense of community. Neighbors became friends, and friends became extended families. Acts of kindness became a part of daily life, and it was as if Maplewood had undergone a quiet revolution, one that didn't involve marches or protests but rather a shift in collective consciousness. One example of this transformation could be seen in the local food pantry. Samuel and Peter, inspired by their own experiences, decided to start volunteering there. They witnessed the faces of gratitude and relief as they distributed food to those in need. It was a humbling reminder of how small acts of compassion could make a big difference. The children of Maplewood had also been deeply affected by the story. They had watched Peter's journey from despair to hope with wide-eyed wonder. Many of them began participating in community service projects, from organizing bake sales to raise money for local charities to visiting the elderly in the nursing home, bringing smiles to their faces. Samuel's cottage became a hub of activity, not just for Peter but for anyone in the town who needed a helping hand. It was a place where ideas were born, friendships were forged, and dreams were nurtured. Samuel's modest abode had transformed into a symbol of compassion and unity. One of the most heartwarming moments was when Emily, Peter's estranged wife, reached out to him. She had heard about his transformation and the positive changes in his life. Touched by his efforts to rebuild their family, she agreed to meet him and discuss the possibility of reconciliation. The tearful reunion of Peter, Emily, and their children was a moment of pure joy and healing. The story of Maplewood became a source of inspiration beyond the town's borders. News of the community's transformation spread, and others began to emulate its spirit of kindness. The ripple effect extended far beyond Maplewood, touching the lives of people in neighboring towns and cities, reminding everyone that the power of compassion knows no boundaries. Chapter 6 was a celebration of the enduring impact of a single act of kindness. Samuel's decision to help a stranger in need had set in motion a chain of events that had transformed an entire town. It showed that the power to make a positive difference in the world lay within each of us, waiting to be awakened by empathy and the willingness to extend a hand to those in need. The story of Maplewood had become a shining example of the potential for positive change when a community comes together with open hearts and a shared commitment to kindness. In the end, Samuel's story stood as a powerful testament to the enduring values of compassion and empathy in a world often preoccupied with material wealth and personal gain. Maplewood, once a town known merely for its picturesque beauty, had now become a living example of the profound truth that it is the goodness of one's heart that truly defines a person's character. In the months and years that followed the transformative events, Samuel's legacy of kindness continued to flourish. His story served as a guiding light for generations to come, a cherished parable shared from parent to child, teacher to student, and friend to friend. People from all walks of life were inspired by Samuel's unwavering commitment to helping others, regardless of their circumstances. The town of Maplewood remained a close-knit community, where neighbors looked out for each other, where the elderly received visits from children who brightened their days, and where the less fortunate were supported by those with more to give. Acts of kindness became woven into the very fabric of daily life, reminding everyone that they were part of something greater than themselves. The local schools incorporated lessons on empathy and community service into their curricula, ensuring that the next generation grew up with an understanding of the importance of compassion. Samuel's story became a foundational narrative, a reminder that the true richness of life lies not in the accumulation of possessions but in the quality of one's relationships, and the positive impact one can have on the lives of others. The town's transformation was not lost on the world outside Maplewood. News outlets and social media platforms picked up the story, inspiring countless individuals in distant corners of the globe. Samuel's name became synonymous with kindness, his example echoing far beyond the town's borders, encouraging others to follow suit. In the end, Samuel's legacy of compassion served as a constant reminder that the measure of a person's worth was not the size of their bank account, or the possessions they amassed. Instead, it was the kindness and compassion they showed to others that defined their character and left a lasting imprint on the world. The town of Maplewood had become a living testament to this truth, a place where hearts were open, hands were extended, and the enduring power of generosity continued to shape the destiny of its inhabitants. The story of Samuel and the town of Maplewood was a reminder that even in a world often driven by self-interest and ambition, the simple acts of kindness and compassion had the potential to create a more beautiful, connected, and harmonious world for all.